working.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for basically the same figure for the third time, but I'll try to include some topical references to make it seem exciting. I love you guys. Yeah, this is my review for the Power Rangers SPD A-Squad Green Ranger figure. This is our third A-Squad figure. We still have two left to get, but there's just a lot of familiar ground we're going to be covering with these since they're basically the same figure, just slightly different color and slightly different visor. Possibly the only unique and exciting thing about this figure for me is just the fact that it is green, because green, yeah, Fitness Year 20 forever. Because obviously the helmets are based off of Power Rangers and Space helmets, and we never had a green in Space Ranger, so it's a little bit different and unique. But it is, as you can see, based off of Black Ranger's helmet, so just like with the others, you can sort of see the design of the helmet within it. But that is probably the only unique thing about that. Other than that, lots of my points about this just really are the same. I mean, I still like these figures overall. They're not my absolute favorite designs. They're definitely weird little designs that look like Space Kingdom fighters from Walking Dead. But I really do like them because I like their place in the story, and I always like the US creation, so I'm excited to own them. They're certainly figures I didn't expect to get so soon out of the gate in terms of the life cycle of the Lightning Collection. I think they look fine for what they are. You know, I think the helmets look good. I think they proportionally look accurate. The only real problem you have with them is the discrepancies, like right here. Again, he has the white visor and he has the silver one like you're supposed to, and that does match. Yellow's here, and I believe pink and red are going to be the same. Honestly, it's not a huge deal breaker for me though, because I've had those other two on the shelf side by side for a while now, and you can barely tell from a distance. But other than that, again, helmet looks good. I think the paint looks good on this overall. There's not really any proportion mistakes I've noticed with it or anything like that, or any paint mistakes. I was pretty fortunate with this one in regards to things like QC issues and stuff like that. That might be something you encounter because that's something pretty common to the Lightning Collection. As far as accessories, you get pretty much the same stuff. You get their kind of generic weapon here, which, you know, looks fine for what it is. It's nothing to write home about even within the show. And then, of course, you get just two sets of hands, the holding hand and the fist, which are right here, and then the blaster effect part. And again, speaking of retreading on previous ground, I still am disappointed that they don't come with civilian heads. I think, as I've mentioned before, the A-Squad figures are ones that I wanted the civilian heads the most because they're some of the most unique, and I would have loved to have gotten that. I'm not sure why they didn't want to do it. I feel like I have a bad feeling they might eventually do a 5-pack where they just have all 5 civilian heads, and I would probably buy it just for that. But again, basically it ends up being the same review. Like, not my favorite design, but I like that we have them because they're US creations. I like the A-Squad. I wish they had civilian heads. Articulation-wise, you have your standard par for the course stuff. Ball joint and hinge joint right here. Solid range of motion. Double elbow joint here. Swiveling at the fist. Nice ball joint at the leg. Double knee joint here. Nice hinge joint here at the foot, a little bit stiff, but thankfully, overall, no loose joint problems on this guy. You have waist and chest articulation. It's a little bit hindered by this because you have this hinge here, and it's kind of hindered by this being all one piece, so you will have that, but it's not necessarily a huge deal. And by one piece, I mean one solid piece and not one piece the show or the manga. And then a ball joint here on the head, so yeah, pretty much your par for the course stuff. Like, I'm sorry if this is kind of a boring review, but it's basically the same figure for the third time. Like, having reviewed this now 3 times, basically, I kind of wish this had come as a 5-pack. I'll say my basic same recommendation from the last review, which is if you like the A-Squad figures and you like the A-Squad like I do, I don't think you'll be disappointed. They're not absolutely 100% perfect with the discrepancy here, but for me that's not a deal breaker, and it's still really neat to own these. So if you are interested in these in the way that I am, then I think you'll be happy with them. But if you're not, then you're not. But that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell. See notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.